looks big.
But Finn, why are you naked?
This weekend we're down at the famous Jacqui's pool. We haven't got long to make it happen, so I'm gonna go get the rods out and see what we can catch. Now you might have noticed back at the lodge there was actually 2 sets of rods, and that's because I'm not down here alone. I'm here with a good friend and also a brother from another mother, Lewis Porter. We've both brought our partners down here.
I look like a corn.
Do you work with the red hat?
So while we're fishing, we're also going to be able to have a relaxing weekend with the rods out in the lake.
Jacqui's pool is about 1.5 acres in size with about 80 carp in it. It's split up into 2 sections, a north side, which I'm currently situated in, and then a south where Finley is. 80 carp sounds quite a lot of carp for an 1.5 acre size lake, but the reality is they're very pressured a lot of the year, so I don't think it's going to be particularly easy. But I'm sure between me and Finn we're going to work it out.
Now, in terms of fishing time, we've actually only got around 1.5 days, and the reason is we got here very late yesterday. With it being Friday, traffic, it wasn't the greatest, but once we got down here, we made the effort to get the rods set up. We baited up a few likely looking areas so we could wake up this morning and get fishing. Lewis is on one side, I'm on the other side, and what I'm going to do is spread the rods around in this section of the lake so we can try and locate where the carp are holding up.
I absolutely love it here at Jacqui's pool, and me and my wife actually make a yearly booking to get away for the weekend and try and catch a fish each. This year I'm really pleased that Finn can join us with his girlfriend. I think realistically, team target wise, I reckon if we can all catch a fish each, I think we've done incredibly well in the time that we've got. It's still really early in the day, so we're going to give it a few more hours, and then when the girls are up we'll go in, make some breakfast and then reassess the situation.
Just had breakfast and we haven't caught a carp yet, which I'm a little bit upset about, to be honest, but I knew it wasn't going to be easy. Now on Lewis's side of the lake, near one of the bridges, I've just came here, baited it up last night. There was a bit of suspicious activity. There's I wouldn't say it's fizzing up, but there's just the odd pinprick bubble coming up to the surface. Now it's quite shallow, but where the water's quite coloured and where it's being dyed, you can't see it to the bottom. There was a few bubbles coming up there, that was a bit more fizzy. So yeah, I think there could be a few fish potentially feed, and obviously it's going to be a nice little passing area. I'll carry on the lap and see what we can find. That's looking promising, I reckon. Well, while I sit here drinking a lovely cup of tea which Lewis has just made for me, I'm making 3 fresh rigs to put out into the lake, so let's have a look on the map to see where I'm going to be putting them. After speaking to the bailiff, he told me about 2 new spots where I should potentially move my rods. The first one was a margin spot on the far bank where I'd started the session. I was able to walk down the bank, hand place the rig and bait nice and tight over the top. It was then a simple case of walking the rod back to the swim, slackening off so the line was pinned down on the lake bed to avoid spooking any carp patrolling up and down that margin. The next rod I cast onto the bank, and I used the top 2 sections of a bushwhacker to stealthily place the rig in the edge. Normally when you're fishing down here, you book on from Thursday until Sunday around midday. Now, our trip is much shorter compared to what you'd normally have. We're only on, like say, 36 hours of fishing time, and we didn't even fish last night. So as each hour is sort of passing by, I'm not gonna lie, the pressure is starting to build up. I am sort of handling the pressure. Lewis, on the other hand, is crumbling. He can't handle it. Normally he's behind the camera, but yeah, me and him, we just both want to put a fish on the bank. So what we're trying to do is just basically try all our options. We're moving rods around the lake. Lewis has actually baited up a spot out in front of the lodge to try tonight. We're just trying to get one step ahead in front of a carp. It hasn't happened yet. I'm hoping it's gonna. Lewis, on the other hand, like I said, is starting to crumble. So I think the best thing to do now is probably go relax in the hot tub, chill out for a little bit, you never know, while we're sat there sort of contemplating our fishing decisions, maybe one of these carp will give the game away. Once the traps were set, there wasn't anything else better to do than sit back, relax and watch the world go by. To be honest, I kind of forgot about the fishing and lost a little bit of hope. That was until one of the rods let out a few bleeps and we were into the first carp of the session. Come on fish, give up. Here it comes, both me and Lewis have grafted and we have the first fish of the session in the net and it looks like a decent common. Although it was on my rod and I'd like to say it's 1-0 between me and Lewis, it was a team effort. So I think the best thing to do now is probably go wake up Racheal and Jess from the little afternoon siesta and try and get a nice big group photo. And there we have it, the first fish of the session, a joint effort between me and Lewis. 35 pounds, 2 ounces. Yeah, I'm absolutely over the moon. Lewis's head was starting to go a little bit, not gonna lie, it was starting to get to me, but kept it quiet in this corner. We've been able to catch this one and hopefully it's not gonna be the last. I'm gonna put it back and I think it's time for a barbecue. And here's the other side. Just before putting it back, I've just realised this is actually a UK personal best common for myself. Not only that, it's actually a new lake record common. So double whammy. Yeah, you can't ask for a better first bite from a new lake, can you? That will do.
I'm starting to panic. I'm really pleased with Finn, obviously. Absolute mega fish as well at like 35 pound. I'm fairly certain it was one that maybe me and Racheal caught a few years ago and it's done like about 10 more pound on top. So mega result for the fishery, and obviously with it being a lake record common and a PB common for Finn, there might be a little bit of a surprise for him. I'm going to move the rods into here for the night. You know, there was, depending on how things went, we were maybe going to have the nights off, but because I'm still yet to get off the mark, I'm going to fish from here into the early hours of the morning, then wind in when we go to actual sleep. I've just got to be hopeful and stay consistent, keep pushing, keep plugging away. I've actually added a little bit of pellet into this spot as well now, so fingers crossed we can make something happen. If not, we're having a lovely time anyway.
Lovely times. Well, after having that lovely barbecue, we're back around at the lake, getting the trap set for the evening ahead. I'm still on cloud 9 from earlier, but the rods are out there and the bait mix which I'm using this evening is the same bait mix which I baited up with last night, and more importantly, the mix which I caught that fish on earlier. All it includes is 6mm Scopex squid pellet. I've put a little bit of flake in there just to help carp at the bottom, a few 12mm, and I've covered the mix up with plenty of liquid like the spod syrup and bait soak, just to add that extra pulling power to the mix. Yeah, just put that line on the R4 and that is the trap set. So we're going to go back round now, spend a few hours with the girls at the lodge, maybe play a cheeky game of Uno or two. You never know, we might be able to end this perfect day with another carp or two. Yeah, imagine catching a lake record common and then the lake record mirror, that would be funny, wouldn't it? That looks big!
Finn, why are you naked?
I got the rods set for the evening probably about 30 minutes ago. I went back to the lodge and as you can probably tell, I was in my hot tub spending some quality time with Jess. Obviously it is a fishing holiday, but I still need to get the brownie points so I can go fishing next week. And yeah, Lewis was on rod duty. I've just had a shout from up the bank and I'm into a second carp of the trip and it looks like a proper scaly mirror. That is another good fish. Don't know how big it is, and to be honest, I don't care. You'll have to excuse that I'm half naked, but we have the second fish of the session, and it is another big fish. Oh yeah. I am completely lost for words. 2 fish and they've both been mid-30s. They're common in this time of mirror. Yeah, the company's been great. I'm absolutely loving the fishing. Oh, what a great day down at Jacqui's pool. Absolute tank. It's the final morning. Lewis has just went and put his rods out. I'm putting mine out, and we've both made the effort to get up super early this morning. It's around 4:30 currently. Yeah, we're going to be making the most of the final few hours.
I've been coming up to S&R Fishery now probably for the last 5 years to see Lee, and every time I do, I'm just absolutely gobsmacked. It's such a stunning part of the country, but Lee and his team, which effectively is pretty much his family, just put in so much work, and it's forever changing. It's not just Jacqui's pool that's on site, there's multiple other lakes that offer loads of different types of fishing, whether that's a day ticket or more exclusive bookings. For me though, Jacqui's pool is the real special one on site because it's a dedication to Lee's late mum, and he's done an amazing job in honouring her memory. Everything's finished to such a high spec, and it's such a lovely place to come. The second you come into them gates, you're sort of tucked away, and you just get to make core memories with the people that you want to bring and spend quality time with. I hope in the future that I get to carry on coming back and hopping to see Lee and seeing how the fishery develops, but also keep coming to see how the incredible fishing here keep on growing. It's absolutely mental to think that what these fish have done in the last 3 years and what they're going to do for the next 10 years.
It's came to the sad part of any fishing trip and any holiday, and that is, it's time to go home. Saying that though, I've loved my time down here at Jacqui's pool. I've been able to spend quality time with Lewis. We don't do it as much as we should. I've also been able to spend a bit of time with Jess and Racheal, and on the plus side of things as well, being able to squeeze in a little bit of fishing. On the fishing side of things, it is far surpassed what I was expecting. We've been able to catch 2 fish, and both of them were mid-30s. But it's time to reel in, and hopefully it's not going to be long before I'll be doing a return visit down to the complex, because I've absolutely loved my time down here. If you've enjoyed the video, make sure to leave it a like, a comment and subscribe, and keep your eyes peeled for my main Lewis, and next going to be hitting the bank out at Jacqui.